Hi guys, it's Kimber down in the garden. It has been a while since I did a garden tour, so I thought I would show you guys around. It is the end of August, and that means the garden is in transition right now. We have harvested many things, and we are getting ready for fall planting. So the garden is kind of in limbo right now, in between those two stages, but I thought I'd show you around because your garden probably is too. And I wanted you to know that it is okay that your garden does not always look perfect. In fact, we just had a storm last night, so my beautiful white rock path is covered in leaves as well. So it is not perfect, and I think that's a good time to share a garden, is when everything isn't perfect. So come on in and see what the garden is doing. If you haven't seen the garden before, it is a very exciting 995 square feet. We live in the middle of a forest, so we have lots of furry friends, and while I love living in the forest and sharing it with everyone, I don't want to share my fruit and vegetables with them, so we fenced it in. I definitely recommend that if you have deer or bear in your area, for sure. So, have a look at the garden. I put some flowers out front so I could attract some pollinators to the garden. We have flowers on both sides, as well as some pumpkins are out front. And I have something new right out front of the gate that I'm very excited about. A mailbox! And I know you're thinking, why are you getting mail at the garden? But I'm not. We're very, very far away from the road. Nobody's bringing me mail down here, but I have a different purpose for it. And that is storage. Yes, so I have my gloves in here, as well as some scissors and a few other tools, so that I don't always have to go back up to the house to get what I need. I can have a few things right here on hand. That's what's pretty cute. So that's a good little idea if you don't have a garden shed or your garden is far away from the house. I really like my mailbox, so I added that in. But come on into the garden and let's see what we have going on in here. Going under the sunflower. So in the garden we have it divided into 4 beds, and the first bed is wild. To say the least. This is the watermelon bed, and it looks crazy, but I love it. It does. It looks like someone that needs a haircut, very much so. But there's a lot of watermelon here, so it's very exciting to see, and I'll come and show you some of the watermelon. We have one that is growing in the fence. Have a look at this one. There it is. Here's my watermelon, and yes, that is pantyhose that you see because it is growing out of the fence, and so it needs a little bit of support as it gets bigger because watermelon will not ripen off of the vine, so we don't want it to fall off. So yes, I use some pantyhose and give my watermelon some support. But I also use this lattice that Pilar gave me to grow some watermelon vertically, and that's pretty exciting too. We have one that's over here. I'm gonna need to put a piece of wood underneath it so that it doesn't end up rotting on the bottom. But we have some growing inside as well. And I love this one. Can you see it in there? There we go. There's the watermelon. We got a nice tall one. There's a few watermelon back here actually. I see some back there. And then we have some watermelon that out front. I'm going to turn you guys upside down so that you can see a beautiful watermelon. Maybe. So we have a big mess going with watermelon, but that's okay. So over here, it's a little crowded right now. We still have some carrots that our children are going to finish harvesting up today. And we have a lot of delicious peppers growing. And this is getting to be a pretty good size. Got some over here as well. Lots of peppers. We also have some winter squash that's growing in there and some purple beans. And we have some eggplants growing in there. And then in the second bed, we just took everything up pretty much. So all that's left is one pumpkin plant that was rogue. That is from a seed that one of our children dropped because we did not plant pumpkin in that bed. This was our 3 sisters bed. So I used to have corn and beans and squash in it, but the corn was done and the squirrels, or maybe a raccoon, I've never seen a raccoon, but of course it could live out here. somebody came in and decided to eat the remains of the corn, so we had to pull that all up this weekend. But it was done anyway, so it's okay. So this bed is about to get a makeover and get ready for some fall planting. So all that's left in there now, 1 pumpkin, 2 zucchinis are left in there, and then I have my dwarf eggplant that I love that produces so much. And I just harvested some of these, so there aren't as many to see right now. And then in the second bed, well, third bed, this was our sunflower bed, but the sunflowers are finishing up their journey. And we had sunflowers that, our tallest one got to about 17 feet, and then the storms all knocked them over, as that would be. So that's okay. I enjoyed the journey of seeing the sunflowers grow. It was really neat. And now it's time for them to finish up. We've cut off a few of those heads and hung them to dry so we can get some sunflower seeds. But the birds have been by to get a few sunflower seeds, which I didn't mind sharing. I knew that was going to be part of it. So lots of sunflower seeds on the ground in here, as well as lots of zucchini still growing. Green beans and tomatoes are still over there. And in our fourth bed, this is where we grew our potatoes, which we just harvested this weekend, as well as Mexican marigolds and some broccoli. Broccoli still going, and green beans. I just pulled up the green beans as well. We still have some tomatoes going and some pumpkins, but that is the garden right now. It looks like a big mess at the moment, but I love it, and I am excited because now we get to start the adventure of fall planting. So I'm going to get busy gardening, and you guys get busy in your garden too and share some pictures, because I would love to see what your garden is up to these days as well.